In the wake of things like the Panama Papers and others, we have the Pandora Papers investigation, what's called the world's largest ever journalistic collaboration involving more than 600 journalists from 150 media outlets in 117 countries. A lot of interesting stuff has come about as a result of this. The first and foremost is, I'm shocked to find out there are still 600 journalists. So good news for us to start off the week with, but also it revealed a lot of the financial shenanigans of our world's elites, both on the financial side as well as the ruling class of a number of different countries. So they've got details on more than 29,000 offshore bank accounts, over twice the number that were exposed 5 years ago by the Panama Papers. I will just remind you, by the way, that while the Panama Papers obviously revealed a lot financially, it also revealed the strike back against journalism. Google some of the violence against people involved in the Panama Papers leaks. So if you are one of those 600 journalists, stay safe, because these people have a lot of money and a lot of power and they don't like when these things are revealed. But the investigation exposes the secret offshore affairs of 35 world leaders. That is amazing. Current and former presidents, prime ministers, and heads of state, as well as the secret finances of more than 300 other public officials like government ministers, judges, mayors, and military generals in more than 90 countries, as well as more than 100 billionaires that feature, which includes celebrities, rock stars, and business leaders, many using shell companies to hold luxury items like property and yachts. Hey, Joe Manchin, as well as incognito bank accounts, even art like looted Cambodian antiquities to paintings by Picasso and murals by Banksy. So hey, some modern stuff there. So Viviana, if you have any thoughts about the investigation finally being revealed, feel free to let us know. And at some point, if you want to let us know some of the specifics, I'd love to hear them.
I mean, I'm with you with those journalists. I mean, God bless them. That's really scary that they're putting themselves out there. But sorry for the sirens.
They're coming for the journalists.
Cue the sirens. Some specifics are King Abdullah II, who rules Jordan. He spent more than 100 million on lavish properties in the US. Who's his realtor? And in Europe, while his country fell deeper into political turmoil. The Washington Post reported that.
Let's start there. So, and the reason is what he's doing with it, which is buying up all this property. And look, this is like the barest surface of these papers. You can find out much more online, and more will be coming out. But this is one of the things that I expect is setting Anna Kasparian's hair on fire today, which is a lot of it is real estate speculation and hoarding of property in the United States. That is a problem that we've been talking about for some time. This is not the only thing that's leading to it, but this is one of these. These are wealthy elites hiding their wealth in other countries by buying up property here. And if there's a consequence that you can't ever buy a home as a result of that, well, omelets, eggs, all of that.
Yeah, too bad that's the case. Also, a woman suspected of being in a years-long relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin became the owner of a pricey Monaco apartment just days after reportedly giving birth to his child. Coincidence? Ukrainian president.
The nice feather in her cap.
I wouldn't want to get that feather. The Ukrainian president Volodymyr, I can't say that one, Volodymyr Zelensky, say it, John.
Volodymyr Zelensky, I think.
Zelensky, who was elected in 2019 on a pledge to clean up his country's notoriously corrupt and oligarch-influenced economy, is also named in the leak. During the campaign, Zelensky retransferred 25% of his stake in an offshore company to a close friend who now works as the president's top advisor, the file suggests.
That's probably a gift. He's probably just giving him a nice gift for
just
all
25, of just 25% of the stake.
It's like a gift card to Chili's. You just, it's like, hey, job well done. That's probably what it is.
This one really hurt, John. In Kenya, the president Uhuru Kenyatta, he's portrayed himself as the enemy of corruption. In 2018, Kenyatta told the BBC that every public servant's assets must be declared publicly so that people can question and ask what is legitimate. Well, according to the ICIJ, Kenyatta's family has been accumulating a fortune in offshore tax havens for decades. And the Pandora Papers show the family owned at least 7 entities based in the British Virgin Islands and in Panama, 2 well-known tax havens, of course. And the ICIJ said that the offshore businesses have assets worth more than $30 million.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about corruption. The reason you have corruption is because there's a temptation to make money. If you take all of the money and you send it to an offshore bank account, there will be no temptation left for the elites in your country. I guess that's the strategy. But look, that is very much one of the things. I'm so glad that world leaders are included in this. They are, not all of them claim to be fighters of corruption, although you have Zelensky and you have Kenyatta. Hopefully the people in their country get that message. Unfortunately, many of them live in countries that don't have free and fair elections. So even if they know what the leaders are up to, they can't necessarily do anything about it. Others like Putin, they ain't claiming to be anything other than what they are. But like when you just have Putin's kid and you get a Monaco apartment, and I read assets worth $100 million, just this mistress got. Like you think about how much money they have and how free they are with it. Like we don't have all the details, but I have read that there's beliefs that Putin might well be the richest person in the world, but much of it hidden. There's a lot of that going around in a lot of different countries spread across the world. One thing I noticed though, and I don't know if you noticed this, where's the US people?
Yeah, they're hidden.
We got all these celebrities, we got these leaders. Where are they? Now there's speculation. If we want to jump ahead of the last graphic just for a second, there's speculation that because we have such low tax rates here and there's so many loopholes, they don't really need to use tax havens to the same extent because the US is basically a tax haven. That's part of it, but there's a lot of, other than just the tax havens, there's a lot of shady behavior that definitely our billionaires are engaging in. And it just seems like these leaks often don't touch that. I find that very frustrating.
It might have something to do with the fear that the journalists have, and it might be who's really spurring this Pandora Papers, maybe it's coming from inside the house and we want to point our finger elsewhere so that we can look like we're okay over here in the USA. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, John. Shall I continue?
Yeah, you want to read at least the UK one, yeah.
Okay, so former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair and his wife, Cherie Blair, they avoided paying 312,000, I guess that's 423,000 US money in stamp duty, a tax on property purchases when they bought a townhouse in London. The BBC reported that. The building now houses Cherie Blair's law firm. So they, went ahead and did that tax free.
That's nice.
That's okay.
A lot of perks when you're wealthy.
But that's nice.
I just love what they can get away with, these monument, like the entire budget of some countries in these transactions.
Can I just say that 423,000 for a townhouse sounds actually like a really good deal. Like, do I need to move to London? Like that sounds like I could maybe live there.
I don't know what the exchange rate is these days.
No, that was the exchange.
That actually sounds pretty, in London?
That's what I'm saying. Is this accurate? Or maybe it was, I don't know if these are the right numbers, but.
Saddle up, governor. John's going to the island.
Pip, pip, let's go.
Pip, pip, hooray, or whatever. Yes, I'm gonna have to do that. Anyway, look, we're gonna be talking more about this on the main show today, and there is way more to be revealed from this, but I hope that you look into it. Super significant. These sorts of revelations are always an opportunity for us to actually do something to change the laws. We basically always get through these without that actually happening, but you never know. Maybe this will be the time that the US at the least changes its laws, which contribute to a lot of this.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.